Hi, guys, and welcome to Finish It Friday, episode 39. So, here's where we left off on Wednesday. So, we have the base card. Mine is Lemon Lolly, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a 2 3/4 by 4 focal point. I did mine in the Very Vanilla, but you could use basic white, Very Vanilla, or any lighter cardstock. Now I have 4 strips. They're a 1/2 inch by 4 inch. Then I have some scraps for a sentiment. All right, so what we're going to do is I am going to be using exclusively on these examples the inked and tiled and the inked botanicals DSP. I did not get inked and tiled as a bundle. It comes with 2 punches. I really didn't see the coordination between the two. There's some fabulous ideas out there, but they didn't have any dies to cut these out, so I just went with a stamp set. But I bundled it with the DSP, the Inked Botanicals, which is fabulous. All right, so this is what I'm going to be using on all the examples you see later today. All right, so for the inked and tiled, I am going to go off of the colors because if you can see the inked and tiled, it says that the colors that are with it are Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, and Pool Party. I kind of strayed a little bit. So I am going to stamp on these strips. On these, I'm going to stamp an Old Olive, and these I will use the Calypso Coral. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Designer Series paper, because if it's light enough, you can actually stamp on it. And you can see I've used every stamp set in the examples except for these 4. So we'll use the Happy Birthday and we'll use this flower, just so you'll see all of the different stamps out there. And I haven't cut them apart yet, so I hope I don't get edges. See how I usually cut them apart with these clear mounts, but I haven't yet. So hopefully we won't get edges. And then I'll put that on there, my Happy Birthday, just because I've used all the others. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line these up together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my Calypso Coral with this flower. And I'm just going to stamp over both of it. Okay. And then for the Old Olive, let me clean this off first. And for the Old Olive, even though I should be doing this with leaves, I'm going to do it again with the same flower, just for continuity purposes. So let's go like that, that, and that. Okay. Then for my focal, let me move this over. For my focal piece, I am going to use the Old Olive again. I'm going to use this big leaf set. Again, I'm not going to push too hard because I don't want to get the edges. I'm going to do like that. And then I'm going to come up kind of here from the bottom and go just like that. Let me get my Happy Birthday saying. I'm going to do that in the memento. This is where I'm afraid I'm going to get an edge, or I'm going to be crooked. All right. Now, if you wanted to layer this, you could. I'm not going to because I made this 4. So if you did an edge, it would have to be, you would have to go 2 7/8 by 4 1/8 if you wanted to keep a border on there. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it just like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and come over here. Let me get out my seal. And let's see. Let me get out my mat just in case, because this is right at 1 inch, I believe, so I don't want to get my stamping surface. And I would go on these strips, I go from the middle to the edge. Because if you go this way, you might not get adhesive all the way to the edge. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my green on the outside. I'm going to leave a little bit of a border. And again here, I just kind of wipe that off there. A little bit of an adhesive. See, I just got a little bit too much there. Alright, then I'm going to do these strips on the inside. See, what I'm going to tell you is, see, if you start here, you're not going to get all the way to that edge. So it's almost better to go from the middle to the end. And I could get out my T ruler just to make sure those are all even, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it. All right, there we go. There's that. You could lay this down flat. I am going to pop it up with dimensionals. The examples I'll be showing you in a little bit, they will be all flat, just so you know. All right, and I think that's the last dimensional, so now I have just edges here, so I can use these on future cards. All right, let me take off those backings. Let's go ahead and put that right there. And there you are. Let me move all this over. Oh, if you didn't want to stamp there, you could stamp, and this is what you could have done. If you wanted a little more of a focal point, you can always stamp your happy birthday. I find that when I've actually popped up my saying or my focal point, I don't really like layering too much, just because to me it seems like then there's too much height on it. But you can do whatever you want. You'll see that my examples, I kept them pretty much flat on all my examples. Now just using that trimmer again as my base, so I'm putting that edge of that cardstock right along that inside trim. Oh, I got that one a little too close. So see, you could also do that if you wanted to. So there's if you went flat. Here's if you wanted to actually layer it. All right, guys. So I got this. I was watching a lot of videos. Was it last Sunday after I did my last introduction examples set of videos? I was watching a lot of videos, and one of the demonstrators was going through cards she had received, and she had received a card, not this style, but it was a style like this, where they had the 4 strips on the side and then the focal point over to the right. So there's another example I made. Here's another. So this one I used the DSP. Here we used DSP and stamped on the DSP. Here I did the cascading ribbons embossing folder on those colors. And on here I just used, again, the DSP standalone, but I split it. This is one of my new favorite color combinations. This is Bubble Bath with Lost Lagoon. I'm really liking how those colors look together. All right, guys, there you have it. Finish It Friday number 39 is in the books. Give me a thumbs up, share your video, give me a comment, but most of all, go out there and create with the ideas that I've given you. Have a great day, and we'll see you this weekend. Bye for now.